So next on the itinerary, we took a trip down to Brooklyn, right? That was
We
the
did.
next place we went.
Yeah, we traversed the subway system, made our way to the famous L train, and then went over to Williamsburg.
Yeah, and so it's funny. A short trip, what, like 15, 20 minutes, yet really is a different world.
Completely. I was telling James yesterday, I feel like when you go to Brooklyn, the people dress different, the atmosphere is different, it smells different, and even though it's still, like you said, 15 minutes, 20 minutes outside of Manhattan, it is just a completely different vibe. So yeah, I frankly felt overdressed with what I was wearing yesterday, just based on how I usually would dress going to Brooklyn.
First on the list was Showfields.
Showfields, yeah, we went to the new Showfields, the House of Showfields. Their second location in New York. They had their first one over on Bond Street, which we had toured before.
They call themselves the most interesting store in the world. I think the concept is really, let's get a lot of different brands under one roof in kind of an interactive setting.
Right.
I think the way it works is brands actually pay to be in there, so it's not like, a store that just resells things. It's as much about marketing for them as anything else.
Right.
So we walked in the front. The first thing we did is we downloaded the app, right?
Yeah, the Magic Wand app, which, they have some sort of AR experience in the store where when you use the Magic Wand app, if you hovered over certain barcodes for items, it tells you more information about the item, about the company that produced it. And you also get a 10% discount if you pay for things with the app. So there is a big incentive to use it.
Yeah, and this store, because it's the House of Showfields,
Right.
Each room was representative of a room in the house. So they had a kitchen laid out with a few things to sample.
Right.
So we tried out, what was it? It was vinegars.
It was dark chocolate balsamic vinegar.
Yeah. So we tried some dark chocolate balsamic vinegar they mixed it with a raspberry, was that right?
They served it. It was like a couple drops of the balsamic vinegar with a raspberry in a little cup. So we swirled the raspberry around and then ate that. It was interesting. James, I think you liked it.
I liked it quite a bit. I was like, I would eat this. It was like a dessert vinegar. And then we also tasted an olive oil.
Yeah, it was a extra garlic. It was like a double garlic olive oil that they had. The woman who laid it all out for us was very nice and accommodating.
Yeah.
But that was not my favorite either. I'll say that. I don't mind garlic, but I don't know that I ever need double garlic, especially when you're trying to meet people that day.
It was more garlic than one would want in any one drop of oil.
Yeah.
Very garlic, and I'm sure there's people out there that love it, but that one wasn't for me. So we were there on a Tuesday. She said if you come back on the weekend, there are a lot more things to try and sample food-wise.
Right.
Like they've got an area they call the courtyard where they're cooking. They have different food samples out you can try.
Absolutely. What I really appreciated about the store, and going back to what you mentioned about their business model, because they the brands themselves are paying to be in the store, I didn't feel like I was ever pressured to make a purchase.
Oh, not at all.
Not at all. They were very much, they wanted us to interact with them and to touch things, see things, check everything out, try everything, but I didn't feel any sort of underlying pressure to, make a sale, which just made for a comforting experience, I think.
Yeah. One brand that we're very familiar with is Lush.
Lush, yeah.
And I think you and I both agreed the Lush room was our favorite from a brand experience standpoint.
I would agree. Yeah, it felt as though that was the most curated single brand presence in the store. And it was amazing. Like you said, all the different rooms have different feels of a house. And I guess the Lush room is kind of like I don't know if it was a bedroom, but there was cloud motifs.
Oh, there was a dream theme.
There you go.
Like sweet dreams
there
or
you
something
go.
like that.
Like a nap room or something like that. But the ambiance in that particular room was so nice, and the lighting was really ambient. That was definitely my favorite part.
Yeah. Yeah, it had a great feel.
For sure. There are some interesting candles that we saw.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, that was in the was that the courtyard section? Or that was the living room. That was more of the living room, which made sense.
Right.
And they had, candles that were in the shape of hands making different motions. So
Right.
just kind of a cheeky, little candle in that way. What else did they have? They had some apparel, some clothes that were there, some shoes. So that was cool. I saw some tricycles right when we walked in. Remember?
Right. Also, this thing that gets you hydrated. What was that?
Liquid IV, which I drank later that night. I drank it in my water, and I can't confirm whether it made me more hydrated or not, but it tasted good. It tasted good, which I was worried about. And so if it actually worked to hydrate me, then they have an excellent product on their hands.
We used the Magic Wand app to learn more about some different items. I think that if I were a shopper on my own, not with my researcher hat, but with my browser hat, probably wouldn't have gone to the trouble of downloading the Showfields app. Well, you know what? I take that back. If I wanted to buy something and I found it was 10% discount, if I downloaded an app, I would have
Absolutely
done it. Yeah.
But that may have been the only reason I would have downloaded it, would be to get the discount.
Yeah. So overall, I felt like the House of Showfields, it had a great feel to it. It was about, sort of experiencing vignettes and giving you a sense of not just, oh, here's things for sale, but here's things in like an experiential setting.
Right.
Great fit where they're at in Williamsburg, what they're selling, how they're selling it. I thought it was a great fit.
Totally agree.